Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Stanford Historical Society. I'm Geoff Cox. I'm the president of the Historical Society, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to today's program. If you've logged in today to view the programming on renaming campus buildings, please bear with us for just a few minutes. This is the time of year when we conduct the annual membership meeting of SHS. And for an organization dedicated to keeping track of historical milestones, it's worth noting that this is our 45th annual meeting. So we want to devote a few minutes to doing a little bit of business, and then we'll get to our program shortly. As with so many things this year, we've had to adjust and improvise. So I promise you that we're going to conduct this meeting in record time and do some things a little bit out of the ordinary, but we do want to take a moment and highlight some of our accomplishments of this past year and look forward to the coming year. My role is primarily to welcome you and to thank everyone who has contributed to an unusual but remarkably successful year. In spite of the challenges we've all faced, all of which are obvious to everyone here, the work of SHS has moved steadily forward. This is the fifth major program of the year, conducted, of course, entirely on Zoom, which has proven actually to open up a whole new set of opportunities for our programmers and our members. We've had record audiences this year, and nearly half of the attendees are first-time participants in SHS events, proving that by extending our programs digitally across the globe, we are finding audiences that otherwise could not have participated in things going on campus. We've had participants zooming in from the UK, from Australia, Switzerland, and India, among other places. And they've been able to enjoy a continuing set of programs that are interesting, timely, and provocative as we have learned to experiment with new media for delivery. Among other accomplishments, the Oral History Group has placed 131 new oral history interviews in the university's archives this past year, further contributing to an unmatched treasure trove, an oral and visual record of the faculty, students, administrators, and alumni who have made Stanford what it is today. These and other accomplishments have been made possible by our outstanding board of directors, by a host of dedicated volunteers, and of course, to all of you who are members. And I want to thank you all. One major piece of business we would normally conduct at the annual meeting is to ask for the membership's support for a new slate for our board of directors. We're doing this electronically also this year. So voting is open now electronically and will close tonight at midnight. We have an outstanding slate of candidates, including Bernadine Chuck Fong, Margot Horn, Bev Kiltz, Katie Chauvin, and Robert Siegel. Please vote for these candidates so that we can put them to work. And now finally, as part of my president's report, I want to hand off my portion of the program to my colleague, Jennifer Cauble, who is chair of our Marketing and Communications Committee, to tell you about one more exciting project we've completed this year. Jennifer?
Hi, everyone. I want to talk to you a little bit about brand strategy, which was a wonderful project that the Marketing Strategy and Communications Group worked on over the last few months. And you're going to get a little bit of a sneak peek here about some of the work that we've done. It was important for us to revisit our brand fundamentals and really look at, as any organization would, what is it that really is the foundations of our organization, and to create a common language for starting our mission, our purpose, our visions, and our values, and to provide a shared framework for aligning our goals and activities across the full organization so that the committees in oral history or publications or programs all were working towards the same vision and the same purpose. It helps us to articulate our value to our members and the Stanford community. And as Geoff just mentioned, to really raising our awareness with others who are interested in Stanford's legacy and its history, and being able to appeal to those audiences and understanding what we could deliver for them. And of course, it ensures that Stanford Historical Society remains a vibrant and relevant part of the Stanford community. That as Stanford University evolves, we are also evolving. And as our audience needs expand and change, that we are responsive to those. Also, as we looked at our brand fundamentals, we also wanted to revisit our image to be able to look at how we communicate to others and in what form all of our materials look like. So we wanted to create a consistent voice and image and refresh the image that we've been using in the past on all our communication channels, in particular, those in virtual and mobile formats. Because as Geoff said, and as all of us know, that has become such a vital part of us being able to reach, particularly those audiences we've not reached before, who are interested in learning more about Stanford's legacy and history. We also want to communicate a personality and an image to others so that they think of us as an organization that's inquisitive, in touch, and inspirational to help them reconnect to Stanford. And we needed to establish compliance and synergies with the university branding as well, because we're part of that family. And as such, we want to look like part of that family and feel that we're in compliance there. So initially, you will see the university word mark here. And this is the way the Stanford Historical Society looks when we start using a logo and a word mark that is in compliance with the new standards that have been set up for using the use of Stanford name, the colors, the format, the fonts. Now we are consistent with the university, along with other departments and institutions across the university. And you will see this particularly in many of our more formal communications or letters. But we also have a little bit of design leeway to start looking at an icon or something that people could start relating closer to our organization. And here we use the inspiration that you see here, the Palo Alto, the fact that there's many branches and aspects to the Stanford tree and the family of Stanford. Our architecture, including the oval on the main quad. And importantly, our heraldry, which was started in the 1960s with the individual school flags and the individual school shields. And so pulling from that heraldry so that we're touching history, but we're still looking towards the future, we really centered in on the trefoil design that you see here and modified it slightly so that it is in an oval context. Down the center of this, you will see that there are 7 fronds on the, or 7 needles representing the 7 schools. The colors represent the red tiles of our roofs and the sandstone color of the masonry around campus. And so we feel with this design that we can start having a consistent look across many of our materials. And you'll be seeing in the coming months things such as our website, our other social media usage, sandstone and tile, and even some of our advertising. So as we continue to provide relevant and insightful programs and communicate out to you about Stanford's history, take a look in your mailboxes, take a look on the web, and start to embrace this new image for the Stanford Historical Society. And that is your sneak peek. I'm not going to go any further, but you will see it as it unfolds over the next coming months. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to Charlie.
Hi, I'm Charlie Junkerman. I'm one of the vice presidents of the Society, and it's my privilege and my pleasure this afternoon to announce the recipients of 2 of the annual awards that the Society extends to its members. The Karen Bartholomew Award for Exceptional Service. This award was established in 2005 to recognize exceptional volunteer service to the Historical Society. The award's first recipient and its namesake was Karen Bartholomew, who served the Society generously over decades. She served as chair of both the Program Committee and the Publications Committee, a member of the Board of Directors, and as associate editor and co-editor of Sandstone and Tile. The 2021 Karen Bartholomew Award recipients are Leslie Kim and Roxanne Nyland. Leslie Kim is currently the Historical Society's Vice President and Program Committee Co-Chair. She's made many contributions to the Historical Society, but her achievement as co-chair of the Program Committee in adapting the Society's programs to the virtual Zoom arena have been historic and heroic. And the success of these programs the success of the program she has produced is nothing short of outstanding. For the first Zoom program on the architect John Paul Warnke last May with Professor Paul Turner, Leslie spent not only countless hours setting up and testing the technology, but she then hosted the program on air, poised, practiced, eloquent, and nimble. The program was a great success, and as you heard from Geoff, it was followed this year with 4 more Zoom programs and a 5th coming up in a few minutes. None of these programs would have enjoyed the success they achieved without Leslie's guiding hand behind the scenes and her gracious presence as host in front of the camera. For all she does for the Society, with outstanding cheerfulness and collegiality, the award committee is pleased to honor Leslie Kim with the Karen Bartholomew Award for 2021. Congratulations, Leslie. Second recipient of the Karen Bartholomew Award is Roxanne Nyland, former university archivist, writer, and historian. There are really few people at Stanford who can come close to matching Rocky Nyland's encyclopedic and nuanced knowledge of Stanford history. As a PhD historian and a deeply experienced archivist, Rocky has put her vast knowledge at the disposal of the Historical Society by writing dozens of articles for Sandstone and Tile, assisting with the Historic Houses volumes, co-authoring the Stanford Chronology, and contributing the column Stanford in the Last 125 Years to every issue of Sandstone and Tile. And we all eagerly await the publication of her upcoming biography of University President Wallace Stirling, on which she has been working with her co-author, Karen Bartholomew, for a number of years. For all she has contributed to the understanding of Stanford's legacy over several decades, the selection committee is proud to honor Roxanne Nyland with the 2021 Karen Bartholomew Award. Congratulations, Rocky. Established in 2018, the purpose of the Susan W. Schofield Oral History Award is to encourage oral history at Stanford, to strengthen the collections of the Historical Society and the Stanford Libraries, and to recognize the excellent quality of oral history work. It is named for Susan Ward Schofield, who was the chief force in the growth of the Society's oral history program and who chaired the Oral History Committee for the Society between 2006 and 2018. 2021 Susan W. Schofield Award recipient is Darshani Lakmali Jayasingh for In Transit, an oral history project on crossing borders. Lakmali is a PhD candidate in comparative literature at Stanford. Her project aims to capture the struggles of those who have experienced rights violations and indignities of visa restrictions, especially in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. She conducted 24 oral history interviews with international students at Stanford from 23 different countries. The award selection committee was impressed by the scope of the in-transit interviews and by Lakmali's thoughtful research preparation and question design. As the committee wrote in its award citation, your contributions to the archival record on the lived experiences of Stanford international students as they cross borders and navigate regulations in pursuit of higher education will be of great benefit to scholars and the university community in decades to come. Congratulations, Black Molly. Now, as just a footnote, we had to abbreviate our remarks to fit them into the time frame of the annual meeting, but videos featuring all three recipients will be linked to the June 1st newsletter that you will receive. So please take the opportunity to go to those videos and learn more about them and their contributions to the Society. And now we'll turn the screen back to Geoff.
Thank you, Charlie, so much. And congratulations to our award winners. They truly have made important contributions, not only to the Society, but to Stanford itself. We're very proud of all of you. And thank you once again to all of the board members, the volunteers, the Society members who make this work possible. We all think that this is an exceptionally important contribution to recording the remarkable life of this university that we all love, and it wouldn't happen without the participation of all of you. So thank you most sincerely.